going on, guys? It is your boy Joel TFD here. Welcome back yet again with a brand new review for you guys today. Today we're doing the Star Wars Resistance Season 1 review, and honestly, I thought the story aspect of this was generally really good, but I do see a lot of like kid stuff, if that makes sense, involved into this show, and I'm very curious to talk about it with you guys. Before we get straight into it though, just want to say definitely hit that like button, also subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It will really mean a lot if you guys help me reach that goal. Anywho, let's head straight into the Star Wars Resistance Season 1 review. I really did like the story in this, honestly. I thought it was actually very entertaining, honestly, with Commander Pyre, you know, and just like the First Order really trying to take order of the Colossus in some type of way. Like it really did make sense, you know. It doesn't like give you like too much to really think about, if that makes sense. Also, it really just gives off like a very simple task, you know, in some type of way, which I could see why it could be a con, but I do think like it's a pro also, just because it doesn't give you like this file so much information in some type of way, you know, that you have to kind of like think back, you know, if that makes sense. Like it I could see I would say like it's like the same reason as the Force Awakens, you know, why it could feel so disconnected from like the past Star Wars movies, if that makes sense, you know. But this one, it feels so disconnected to like the whole Star Wars lore in general, besides the Force Awakens, obviously, because it takes place literally before the Force Awakens, honestly. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the final mission is actually during the Force Awakens, because there is a point when I forgot his name already, but like the person that was like telling all the stormtroopers basically that we have to go to war or something like that, and like with the red flag in the back and everything. So I was kind of like, oh shoot, like this is definitely during the Force Awakens, you know. And I was kind of like, oh shoot, like I actually really like that connectivity in some type of way, you know. And I really do like that at the end also we get a little bit more character built with Kaz, you know, with his world getting destroyed and everything. I'm pretty sure we're gonna touch base on that, honestly, on the second season, which I'm very curious about, to be honest. I actually grew to like all these characters, honestly. Also, I think Nico is still kind of like iffy for me. I think he's the only character that really brings like the kid stuff, honestly, to this show, just because I feel like the rest of the characters are very like, they're very serious tone in some type of ways, you know, and everything. But Nico, he kind of serves like a Jar Jar in some type of way, honestly. I could really see like the resemblance in some type of way. They really try to like make a Jar Jar 2.0, you know, which I kind of don't mind, but at the same time I felt like he was just too much at points, you know, because like he would either like talk too much, or just like his like jokes wouldn't really land with him, you know. He would be a little bit too literal in some type of way, you know, and sometimes it was funny, you know, but sometimes it wasn't. I feel like it was just a little bit too much for his character. I really like Tamara. Tamara was actually a decent character, honestly. I really am curious about her character too on season 2, just because with the whole ending where she finds out that Kaz and Yeager were spies for the Resistance, you know, and everything, and she decides to join the First Order, you know. So I'm very curious to see her character and what she's going to be doing in season 2 and everything. I actually really did like all the other characters too, honestly. I kind of like the what's it called, Kaz, kind of like in Sonara in some type of way, you know. But I will say I kind of ship him more with Tor, I think that's her name, or Tara, I think that's her name, I don't know, but Doza's daughter, you know, and like I ship them a little bit more, honestly, than with Sonara. But I actually don't mind either way, honestly. I see both of their chemistries are really good, but I just prefer his chemistry with Tora more than with Sonara, in my personal opinion. BB-8, honestly, I really like that he was like a regular for most of the season, you know, and then we had what's it called, C3? Wait, C3? Wait, no. Well, I do like that she popped up in like the end also, you know, but I just felt like the whole transition from like both of the droids, you know, were kind of like, okay, you know. But I thought it was kind of funny too that the droids had a little crush on each other in some type of way. I really do like that Poe was actually part of the season 2. Like he wasn't like in the majority of the season, but like there was one-offs, you know, that he was just there, you know, and like he had missions with Kaz and everything, and I thought it was actually really cool just to see that also. Yeah, man, overall though, I really did enjoy the season a lot, but I also see a lot of the kid stuff in it, so I kind of see why people didn't really like this in some type of way. But I'm very curious about season 2, honestly. Obviously, I feel like if there was a season 2, it's because a lot of people actually really liked the first season, so whatever the season 2 is the reason why people didn't like it. So I'm very, very curious again to see like how everything's gonna go. But yeah, that's going to be my review for season 1 of Star Wars Resistance. If you guys did enjoy this review, definitely hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace out, guys. For you guys to enjoy, give a day, make every day else today. Everyone stay positive and be positive. You guys already know to have a positive mindset. Peace.